The history of Belarus begins in prehistoric times, long before written records. Archaeological findings show that the territory was already inhabited several millennia before Christ by hunters and gatherers. From the first millennium before Christ onward, Baltic and later Slavic tribes increasingly settled in the region. In the early Middle Ages, from approximately the 6th century after Christ, East Slavic groups established permanent settlements, practiced agriculture, and used important trade routes. In the 9th and 10th centuries after Christ, the territory became part of Kievan Rus, a loose political federation of East Slavic principalities. Important centers included Polotsk, which developed into a major cultural and economic hub. With the decline of Kievan Rus in the 12th and 13th centuries after Christ, independent principalities emerged. The Mongol invasions of the 13th century after Christ reached Belarus only partially, so the region suffered less destruction than areas farther south. From the 14th century after Christ onward, Belarus came under the rule of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, a multi-ethnic state that allowed religious and linguistic diversity. In the year 1569 after Christ, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania was united with the Kingdom of Poland through the Union of Lublin, forming the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. During this period, Polish culture, the Catholic Church, and noble structures shaped the country, while large parts of the population remained Orthodox. In the 17th century after Christ, Belarus repeatedly became a battleground, particularly during wars between the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth and the Tsardom of Russia. These conflicts led to economic decline and significant population losses. In the late 18th century after Christ, during the three partitions of Poland in the years 1792, 1793, and 1795 after Christ, the territory of Belarus was fully incorporated into the Russian Empire. In the 19th century after Christ, Belarus was part of the Tsarist Empire and subjected to policies of Russification. The Belarusian language and culture were suppressed, yet a national revival movement gradually developed, emphasizing literature, folk traditions, and historical identity. The abolition of serfdom in the year 1866 after Christ transformed social structures, but did not lead to political self-determination. The First World War, which lasted from 1914 to 1918 after Christ, brought massive destruction to the region. After the Russian Revolution in the year 1917 after Christ, several short-lived state projects emerged. Ultimately, in the year 1923 after Christ, the Belarusian Soviet Socialist Republic was established and became part of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. During the Second World War, from 1939 to 1945 after Christ, Belarus suffered exceptionally heavy losses. German occupation resulted in systematic destruction, particularly of the Jewish population. Approximately 1/4 of the total population perished. After the war, extensive reconstruction followed, and Belarus developed into an important industrial and agricultural center within the Soviet Union. In the 1980s of the 20th century after Christ, economic problems and political reforms led to growing public dissatisfaction. In the year 1991 after Christ, following the collapse of the Soviet Union, Belarus declared its independence. In the year 1994 after Christ, Alexander Lukashenko was elected president. In the years that followed, he consolidated power, weakened democratic institutions, and established an authoritarian system of governance. In the 21st century after Christ, Belarus remained politically closely aligned with Russia. The presidential elections in the year 2020 after Christ triggered nationwide protests, which were violently suppressed. Many opposition figures were imprisoned or forced into exile. Internationally, the country became increasingly isolated. After the Russian attack on Ukraine in the year 2022 after Christ, Belarus supported Russia politically and logistically, leading to further sanctions imposed by Western states. In the years 2023 to 2026 after Christ, the country remained under strict internal control, while economic dependence on Russia continued to grow. At the same time, civil society and cultural movements persisted both inside the country and abroad, striving for a democratic and sovereign future for Belarus. Up to the year 2026 after Christ, Belarus has remained a formally independent state, whose history is marked by foreign domination, cultural resilience, profound losses, and an ongoing struggle for political self-determination.